Hey guys, welcome to my channel! Today I want to show you how to make a Napoleon cake from scratch. This cake is made of multiple layers of puff pastry dough and a smooth delicate pastry cream in between the layers. The Napoleon cake is the first cake I ever made at the age of 12. Since then it's been one of the most favorite cakes for my family. It may seem difficult to make, but I assure you that with my tutorial you can make it on your first try. We'll start by preparing the filling, since we need to make the custard base and cool it very well. To make the filling we'll need whole milk, sugar, cornstarch, 1 egg, butter, and later on we'll need heavy whipping cream. The exact amount of ingredients can be found below this video. The first step is to warm up the milk without boiling it. You can do it in a microwave or you can do it in a saucepan using the stove top. Next, using a heavy bottom saucepan, we need to combine the sugar, cornstarch and egg. Beat everything well until you get a smooth and even mixture without any lumps. Next, whisk in 1/4 cup of the hot milk until it is incorporated, then slowly drizzle in the remaining hot milk while whisking. Place the saucepan on the stove and whisk constantly over medium-high heat until thickened and slowly boiling. Remove the saucepan from the heat and add the butter. Mix well until the butter has completely dissolved. Pour the custard into a bowl and cover the surface with a plastic wrap, making sure that the plastic wrap is touching the whole surface. This is to prevent the custard from forming a skin on top. Let it cool to room temperature, then chill in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight. To make the dough, we'll need sifted flour, cold butter, 1 egg, salt, white vinegar, and chilled water. Place the flour in a large whisking bowl. Take a piece of cold butter and coat it with the flour. Using a hand grater, grind the butter while periodically dipping it into flour. Using your hands, combine all the ingredients until they turn into crumb. You can also cut the butter into chunks, add it to the flour, and use a knife to work it into the flour until there are pea-sized bits of butter throughout the dough. Another way is to use a food processor or a blender for this step. Next, let's prepare the wet ingredients. Add the salt, vinegar, and egg to the chilled water and mix it with a fork. Make an indentation in the center of the flour and pour in the liquid ingredients. Quickly mix the dough until it comes together. Work as fast as you can so that the chunks of butter don't completely melt into the dough. The butter will melt as the cake layers bake and form air pockets in the cake layers and give them that flaky puff texture. Divide the dough into 10 pieces and roll each piece into a ball. Dust a big plate with flour and lay out the dough balls on it. Place the plate into a plastic bag and refrigerate for a couple of hours. When the dough is chilled, dust a teflon sheet or parchment paper with flour. Take 1 ball of dough out of the fridge and roll it thin, depending on the size of your future cake. You can use an 8 to 10 inch plate, a baking ring, or make it a rectangle shape like I will do. I use a cutting board that is 11 by 8.5 inch. Using a sharp knife, cut all around the outside of the object that you are using. Collect all the dough scraps and put them in the refrigerator. At the end, we will make an extra cake layer for decorating the cake. Pick some holes using a fork all over the cake layer to keep it from puffing up unevenly. While one cake layer is baking, prepare the next one the same way. Transfer the prepared cake layer along with a teflon sheet or parchment paper to the prepared baking sheet and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 to 10 minutes or until lightly golden. The baked cake layers will be slightly decreased in size but will look very beautiful. From all the leftover dough, I made the last cake layer. I didn't prick it with a fork in order to show how the dough puffs up when baking. Using a food chopper, I will grind the layer and decorate the cake with the crumbs. Now it's time to finish our cake filling. In order to do that, we need to whip the cold, heavy whipping cream to medium peaks. Next, take the custard out of the fridge and using a hand mixer, give it a quick mix. Add the whipped cream into the custard and mix it with a spatula. Divide the filling between the cake layers, saving a little bit for the top and the sides of the cake. Place a dollop of filling into the center of the plate, just to keep the cake from sliding around. Place the first cake layer and spread the filling evenly. Repeat with all cake layers except the top one. Keep it in mind that depending on the size of your cake layers, you may end up with more than 10 layers. Cover the assembled cake with a cutting board and lightly press down. Let it sit for a couple of hours so that the cake settles a little bit. After that, cover the sides and top of the cake with the remaining cake filling. Sprinkle the cake crumbs evenly over the top of the cake and press them over the sides. Keep the cake simple or decorated as you desire. Refrigerate the cake overnight so that the filling soaks into the cake layers and makes them soft and tender. Let it stand at room temperature for 30 minutes or so before serving. I really hope that my video is useful to you and inspires you to make a Napoleon cake. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.